Hey guys, Disco, and today we're doing the spoiler-free review of Resident Evil Extinction. This is the third movie in the Resident Evil movie franchise. I don't think I'm gonna cover Welcome to Raccoon City right now. Right now, my plan is still sort of the same. I'm gonna get through all of the Resident Evil movies that follow Alice, of which there are apparently six of these movies. This is the third one, so we're halfway there finally. Due to how I'm doing this, I have a few days left. We'll get into in a second. We'll get into some of the issues I had trying to watch this movie. Um, my plan is pretty simple. I'm gonna watch the rest of the other three. I have plans to sometime after this video goes. I plan sometime after filming this video to go ahead and watch the next Resident Evil movie, and then I will upload that movie to the. And then I will, try to get those videos out just so I can make sure that I can watch all of them. Don't know if I'm going to or not. Just like with Resident Evil Apocalypse, me and Orange had planned to watch this together, but it didn't happen because we got really sucked into Dead by Daylight. Cause we were playing that a lot because we were making a lot of progress, and he was helping me with some pretty difficult challenges for me. So we were trying, we were try harding a lot. He's been very busy, so I would like to potentially play some more Dead by Daylight with some later. I'll have to see. I'll have to see if he's busy or not. But anyways, but yeah. So some of the issues I had was watching this movie were, so the way I've been watching them have all of the movies except for this one, and I was doing some research. This movie is just apparently not on most streaming services for whatever reason. If a streaming service has a Resident Evil movie, they apparently, at least at this moment, do not have this one, and I don't know why. I did eventually find a way to watch it. I'm happy I watched it, um, but yeah, it was a struggle. My honest opinion on this movie is it's bad. It's not as bad as the first movie, but it's still pretty bad. There wasn't very much action in it. I mean, there was a decent bit, but compared to Apocalypse, Apocalypse just had way more action, which is kind of weird considering Apocalypse came out 30 years before this movie. And as I said in the Apocalypse video, Apocalypse is actually made the year I was born, which kind of came out at least the year I was born, which is kind of funny. Whereas this movie came out in 2007, 3 years after Apocalypse. It's not terrible. The first movie so far is probably my least favorite, and I think part of my issue with Extinction here is just how the pacing was kind of slow. Some of it just didn't make sense. I mean, Apocalypse was just fun because there was a lot more happening in Apocalypse. I actually did some research for this video, just because I was going into this movie. This is probably the most nervous I've been going into a movie with Extinction here, because I thought Apocalypse because Apocalypse had some cool characters I wanted to see more of, and I was scared of how they would do it. Yeah, two of those characters are just not in this movie. I don't know why. So I did some research on that specifically. Apparently the reason why Jill is not in this movie is because she was supposed to be, but the actress for Jill, just she was doing a different movie. I don't remember what it was, but the actress that played Jill, I guess was doing they were doing a different movie or something, so they were unable to be there for Extinction. So they just had a different Resident Evil character from the games. They had Claire basically take her place, which is fine. Not too bad of a plot. They had two characters from Apocalypse, not counting Alice, of course, in this entire movie. And yeah, this movie is bad. I This movie isn't as bad as the first one. The acting is better than the first. I mean, the first movie has okay acting. It's not terrible. I mean, I've seen worse. I mean, there's worse movies with acting. So this one wasn't as bad as that. It was just sort of the plot was kind of pointless. The plot wasn't pointless. It just wasn't the best, you know. But yeah, this movie isn't terrible compared to this. I don't. I'm just a broken record. I'm sorry. The plot of this movie, basically, if I were to give you the spoiler-free review, if I were to give you the spoiler-free version is pretty simple. Alice here on the cover, she um she basically she's trying to stay off the grid because she's like because she knows like some stuff Umbrella is doing with her, and so she's trying to like stay off the grid and just sort of live her life. She eventually encounters Carlos, Claire, and some other LJ, if you remember him from the second from Apocalypse, and a few other people, and they're just kind of hanging. You know, they're making plans to go to Alaska, and then while that's happening, um, you know, the like sort of villain of the movie is doing his stuff. It's kind of weird. There are parts, but overall, I would say, oh, so far out of the first three, Apocalypse is still my favorite movie of all the Resident Evil movies. This movie This movie didn't really live up to the expectations I had. I was expecting some characters to be there that just weren't there. I was also expecting some other. I was also expecting some other stuff, but it's fine. But yeah. So as I was saying, right, like I did some. So Jill was not the only character I did sort of research for. Um, I noticed that I noticed it's not really a spoiler because it's never addressed in these movies. It's basically an off screen thing that happens. But I was doing some research. So Angie from the second movie, Angie Ashford, I really did like her as a character. I thought Angie was really cool. Like, I liked Angie because she was, well, she was a kid, but like she was pretty like she was just a cool character. Like you could tell she cared a lot for the for everybody. Apparently, she's not in this movie, and through my research, I unfortunately found out that she's in none of the other movies except for, well, she's in Apocalypse, and that's it. It's not a spoiler. It's events. I just don't know if it's a spoiler if it's not even in the movies. Apparently, she was supposed to be in the movie, if that makes sense. They I saw something where the director was saying that they had plans to put sort of an explanation for like what happened to her in the movie. It was supposed to be like some scene with some, I think it was some Star Soldiers. It was supposed to be like a scene of, I honestly don't know, something about like some Star Soldiers and like her, and yeah, that just basically is something where there were Star Soldiers that like shot her for some reason. So I guess that's why Angie's just gone, but it's not explained in the movies. So canonically, it's weird. I don't fully understand it. I'm kind of upset by it because my ideas for Extinction here, I thought they could do some cool stuff with Jill and Carlos and LJ and Angie. Two of those characters aren't even in this movie, and the two that are, yeah, they did they. This movie just felt like it wasn't didn't really have much of a direction, but I'm gonna end this here because I'm just rambling. So just if you want to take anything out of this video, just know that Apocalypse, the first three movies, Apocalypse is still my favorite. This and the first movie are the ones that I don't really like, but I prefer this movie over one. I just have some. This movie just like leaves a lot of questions that aren't really explained, as I kind of talked about with Angie and Jill. Um, there's plot points of this movie that are kind of weird, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the autography garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. And I will see you guys in the spoiler review if you've seen this movie. Otherwise, I'll see you at probably the next movie review. I might go ahead and knock that one out as well. Bye, guys.